What's the word? I'm your boy Prophet Rothstein,
Ridge, grind hard, and inspire.
and we back for episode 14 of the podcast Heat Check. What's going on, King?
Grinding, that's it, man.
Yeah, what's going on? You know what I'm saying in the industry, man. Like shit, I'm seeing you everywhere
Yeah,
at these motherfucking stores, at these shops, at these boutiques and shit. What the fuck is going on?
that's called leg work right there.
I heard that. The past
You know, you
time.
gotta do your leg work. That's
Okay.
it. That's leg work.
So
That
what
nitty gritty grind.
is it hard?
um, nah,
Is it tiring?
it can be.
Is it worth it?
Hell yeah.
Lord,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's
Lord.
worth it.
So
It's the process.
in the
Without
process is necessary, right?
The most important.
You can't skip that
Without the
step.
process is nothing. Unless you quit and you, I don't know what the
That
fuck
shit
that
can't
is.
even be out right there. They ain't even a
You
motherfucking
never
option,
quit.
man.
So that's leg work right there, man. Whatever you doing, you gotta do your leg work in it. You gotta grind.
Put your face out there, put your business out there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You damn near you gonna right before you break that's when you break through. You know what I'm saying?
They say the
It,
sun always, he says it's always the darkest hour right before the sunrise.
definitely.
Oh, that's
And
what they say.
this shit right here, you gotta put everything into it. And when you feel like when it's finna break, that's when it really break through for you. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be able to maintain and make it through that storm, though. So.
Dig this, God. Y'all gotta pardon me, man. I wasn't
And that's
prepared. I had to put this shit together right here. Go ahead.
And that's easier said than done too, though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be built for that shit.
Well, you gotta want to do it though too. I mean, if you're doing something that you want to do, that you love doing, man, it ain't gonna feel like work.
Nah.
That leg work ain't gonna feel like work. You know what I'm saying? Because you chasing your dream, and you know you got an understanding that it's gonna take some type of. If you ain't ready to grind like that, like you trying to breathe underwater to chase your dream, man, then like I don't know how much of a dream it is. More or less like a hobby.
You got to put everything you fucking got into it.
Check this out though. God, it has been so much extracurricular bullshit going on since we chopped it up the last time. I know y'all saw in the media and shit, the shit with Lil Boosie and Lil Nas X, bro.
Right.
Well, essentially, Nas X say he want to do a show. He want to perform asshole, butt naked, dick and balls out on stage
What's the purpose behind that shit?
for charity.
Charity what?
I don't know, but for charity.
Who gonna give him money for him to?
What do you
That's
mean?
that's getting out of
Shit, you
control
don't
right
get
there.
money. But his argument is art. You know what I'm saying? But Boosie's argument is like,
Everybody not with their nephew sucking dick. You know, you can't. Everybody not with that shit. You just can't put that shit on everybody and expect it to be cool. Nas X say he won't perform naked on stage for charity. You don't fuck with him like you fuck with the baby. You know, be even-sided, man. Be even-sided. You know, you don't feel that disrespect going dance naked. You don't think that's disrespect in front of boys who trying to be straight? It's totally disrespect.
I got children that's fans of yours. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want my child watching your naked ass and your dick swinging on the stage while you performing and shit like that. You know what I mean? And so of course, you know the community got behind them. You know what I'm saying? The LGBT.
Who, the LGBT people?
Yeah, they got behind them.
Was it the LGBTQ?
The LGBTQ. I know that's for sure.
I want to get that
I don't
shit
know
right.
I don't know if they added some more letters on that motherfucker. They shit growing every motherfucking day. Bro.
Right.
They getting deep.
They
and
community.
They for real.
Yeah, they
don't
community.
offend their ass. Please believe me. But this is what we talking about though. But at the end of the day, is Boosie wrong though?
No, hell no, Boosie not wrong.
Why is Boosie not wrong? What's your standpoint?
Listen, whatever you is, I'm cool with it. But it's a certain point where you gotta kind of like respect people's space and shit like that. You gotta know when to gauge that shit. And they getting out of control with it, so they just showing their ass now. And that's what he basically saying. I'm gonna show my ass on TV now. Cause we can do what the fuck we want, you know. They ain't got no boundaries with that shit, no respect with it, so. And then they feeding it to the kids, the youth, that it's okay to be doing some shit like that. And that's not.
They going hard with that, like.
They making it before a child is young and he confused. They see this shit on TV and now they inspired by that shit. They confident within the shit that they don't even fucking know.
You know what's funny about that, bro? And not funny, but the weird part. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a simple statement like that. And there's so much truth in that statement. But just a simple statement like that will offend somebody. Yep. And they'll say, you know, why will we not let them know from an early age that they can be who they want to be or be who they are? Da, 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 da.
Nah, you influencing kids. You pushing that shit too. They pushing it. Like they ain't even giving them a chance to see what else they like and shit like that. They got this shit everywhere on TV, on commercials, everywhere you fucking go.
You know what fucked me up?
You got the animals, even the.
Yeah. Did you see? So Nas X had the thing, the picture posted with him pregnant. Did you see that?
Hell no, I ain't see
You didn't
that.
see that? Jojo, you saw that, right?
I never saw that shit.
So, man, Nas X got a picture. I don't know if it's a bridal gown or whatever, but the man is he's pregnant with a child. I don't know if it was promo for his release, his album, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Did this. My 10-year-old son, man, saying that shit, and ran to his mama and told his mama, and damn it, she lied to him. Cause we told him man couldn't have babies.
Exactly. Yeah.
You feel me? And I didn't, at the time, I laughed until I realized he was serious than a motherfucker. He was upset. Because he seen this and he really felt like men can really have, you know what I'm saying, can bear children. What do you say?
That's what I'm telling you. They're influencing kids to sway into some shit that they don't even really know what the fuck it is. They selling them this at a young age, man. That shit.
Yeah, but how do you combat that, but still train your child in a manner to where
you can be whoever the fuck you want to be, but let that be your decision. Don't let nobody else sway you into being shit.
Yeah, but you don't think it's kind of. Well, I'm sure you think it's a bit much. I think it's a bit much. To put it in, it's in cartoons now.
It's in everything. That's what I said. They even got the animals on some gay shit.
Bro, they just the comic book, the fictional character.
It's too much, man. Just everywhere you go is like they making it to where it's just more and more.
How all of a sudden the fictional character that's been out for so many years now all of a sudden he's gay? Are y'all buying these, rights from these people in order to strengthen the community? That particular culture. Like, what the fuck is going on? Now that time's this. That time, okay. So did you see the Dave Chappelle shit?
Yeah, I did.
What you think about that guy?
I like it. He was beating up motherfuckers. But he was just letting motherfuckers know that, like, these people getting out of hand with their community is just, you can't even really say nothing to them. They use that little go-to,
Is that fair? What y'all think? Is that fair?
That they use that?
Yeah. And it's legal. I don't want to say legal as in like legal as in government, but let's just say we're playing the game. That's in balance for them. It works for them every time. And we don't even have no go-to. Is that fair?
It's crazy how that community grew faster than our fucking community. As people, like, they respect them and protect them more than they...
What you think attributed to that? How the fuck does that happen? When we say we, indigenous people to the fucking land. And I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Their rights spanned way beyond ours and quicker than ours.
Faster.
You know what I'm saying?
Stronger.
How does that happen though? Like, how do you?
They flaunting they shit.
And that's what I'm saying is imbalance for them.
Yeah.
That shit don't work for us, G. We don't have a hate crime if something happened.
What you say, the cancellation move? When they cancel motherfucking shit?
Yeah, the cancel culture. But with the cancel culture, it's like you can't say anything offensive. You can't joke. You can't be funny towards this particular culture. But as long as we was laughing and joking and talking about niggas, it's a riot. It's a knee slapper. It's all funny. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to the baby. And when his rant came about, and they tried to pull the cancel culture with him, and these big name companies was bagging out behind him. But the truth of it is, so as long as I'm singing and rapping about murdering and slaughtering my own brothers and my own people, and degrading my own race of women, you'll throw millions of dollars behind me, and help generate, you know what I'm saying, my music. But the moment I say anything that's maybe offensive towards your culture of people, it's an atrocity.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to cancel my whole, you know what I'm saying, like, where does the line get drawn with that? Dave Chappelle, goddammit, told the truth. You can't say shit to people no more. No. And it ain't that we don't, you know what I'm saying, not we, it ain't that it be directed towards them. But at the same time, y'all use that platform to an unfair advantage all the time.
Yeah. They using their power shit. That's what the fuck we should have did.
I feel like shit, the higher ups been ran by you know, the community for all this time. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when they got into when they got into when they started allowing the gay marriages and stuff, then it just came.
That's when they just came out. Huh?
Yeah.
Politicians.
Yeah.
Judges.
Is the cancel culture
lawyer?
Fair?
It's a power move. It's a power play.
How do you maneuver within that? This is let's just say, okay, so the podcast go down. All right, this is how we feed our family. This is our platform to say what we want to say.
It's the same thing in that shit.
You know what I'm saying? But we
it's
say one more thing.
You gotta. That's what Joe Budden was talking about.
Right.
That's why he was like, you gotta use your power. Fuck signing with somebody and them paying you for your power. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to sign with them. You create your own fucking line. You got the power anyway. You got what the fuck they selling. How the fuck you gonna settle for what they giving you? That's why he's saying all us as black people, we be settling. And we got the power. And they tell us what we worth. He telling them like, fuck that shit. We ain't gotta do that. But we keep doing it, and then we taking away the power.
We don't know we got it though. So how do you use that power against the cancel culture?
Let them go and get on the network like Dame shit. Put that shit on Dame Network. Put that shit on Puffy shit.
Revolt.
Yeah. Run that shit on up. Put that shit on our own networks. Oprah. She got a gang of shit on her networks, huh?
She do, but
we don't even need that shit. Fuck it. Run our shit. But you gotta stand firm with that shit. You know, our prices a little bit higher, all that shit, because it's hard for us to get certain shit, though. But once we start generating that money with each other, we get bigger amounts of money to go and do what the fuck we need to do. That's why Jay played how he played when he was going in there with the football team and shit like that. And niggas like, damn, what Jay doing? He didn't turn to whatever the fuck. Like, hell no.
Because he made that move. You know, back in the 90s, he had, the early 2000s, he boycotted the Super Bowl and shit. Said he went
and then he did what he did just now when he went, And this was when Kaepernick shit was going on and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Was that then and now still business when he made that move? Or was it they offered him a bigger number then? Or was it they offered him a number then that, you know, he wanted a bigger number then than what they were willing to offer, and he knew he was worth it. He knew the power that he had, like you said, and they weren't giving it, so he went to the boycott. And well, now they feel like his influence is greater now, so number is bigger, so he get back in bed with him. You think that's what happened?
Yeah, they play off numbers all day, every day. But what I'm saying is, you got to know what type of leverage you got. So Jay played that shit on a different level. He know his leverage, and he took his leverage in there and did what the fuck he did supposed to do. He's telling y'all like, nigga, calm down, hold on.
Well, maybe his leverage.
I gotta use the leverage. I got the biggest leverage. I gotta go in here and move and do what the fuck I want to.
That wasn't.
Like Oprah use her leverage for some other shit though. You know what I'm saying? But she has leverage and she use it when she wants to. Like when Obama ran, she used her leverage. Nigga, here, get in.
Leverage on our level, and leverage on, we'll say the white people level. You know what I'm saying? That leverage, when you go into a head company like that, maybe our perception of leverage is one thing.
Yeah.
And theirs is something totally different. So we may come in there worth millions of dollars, and they like, nigga, that ain't no money. Like shit, ain't no leverage, nigga. Like shit.
Yeah,
Super Bowl, nigga, we charging what you worth for one commercial.
But when you got true leverage, self-worth, nigga, it don't matter how much fucking shit they got when you go on that bitch. They deserve to be in there once they got in there. You saying they pulled the higher up leverage on.
They trump that, like, what you want. We don't feel like you're worth what you're asking for. You may feel like you're worth that to you and your people, but you ain't got it here yet. You ain't worth that yet. And so he went back and did some more work. And he raised his worth.
Mm-hmm.
And then went back to the table.
His leverage.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, is that such a bad thing? Like, though, you know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, that's what life is. No. That's what life is all about. The LGBT community, they ain't doing shit wrong. I mean, they utilizing their leverage right now. You know, we just gotta know how to. Life is all about adapting and adjusting to shit. You know, being a coach of your own fucking life, adapting and adjusting to this shit. So it's their turn to pull their power moves and shit like that. We've been through this shit.
Have we?
Yeah.
We've had our turn yet?
We fake had our turn.
Did we? Where we had our turn?
They fake gave us a little Black Lives Matter movement. You know what I'm saying? That was a recent one. Then you know when King, you know the shit with King, when they took King out and then they fake said, okay, we give y'all, you know, voters right, all that shit. But we never utilized our shit. We be too humble. So we don't treat it like it's supposed to be treated. This fucking life. You got to go. You got to, when they say get low, you got to get low. When you go high, you got to go high. You got to, when it's grind, you got to grind.
Put your head to the
Sometimes we be too humble as black people. I feel like we done that a lot. We had our turn and we been humble. When they get their turn, they like, dog, they got their fucking feet on you.
What if we've been humble so long in our struggle, man, that it's become the norm? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what it is.
We don't know strength. You know what I mean? To the point that our whole nature is made of humbleness, to be humble, because we was taught to be that way.
Yeah, but the new generation, they not humble like that. They not going.
Is fearless.
They not going. So that's the wave of that's coming back. That is coming back through the youth, because they not going. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but
and it's so crazy that we done been so humble so much. We like they out of control.
Right.
Look at these motherfucking young kids. They out of control. Nah, they got a voice, but we misdiagnosing them. We not reading them right. But as far as life go, you got to play this shit how it go. You can't be trying to be. It's not that moment. You got to go live in the moments and shit like that in life.
That's heavy, God.
You got to do that shit. You got to adjust in life.
Life is a series of.
You try to play it the same way all the way through. Life ain't like that. It ain't gonna be the same all the way through. It's like what I call it cycles. You know what I'm saying? You go through them cycles in life. You might have one where you stepping. Motherfucker, you might have one where you gritty, grimy, you know what I'm saying? It's about just playing it, man, and figuring it out. Your system. You got to get you a system in life. But
nothing is certain but change. I always said that. Yeah. Only thing that's for sure in life is change.
Yeah.
And that comes with those cycles.
Yeah. You got to be willing to accept that shit, though.
I've been going through some cycles of my own, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you know what I'm saying, when you find yourself by yourself, man, you know, you do a lot of thinking and a lot of reflecting, man. You know what I mean? And you hopefully grow. I'm a firm believer that the soul needs pain to grow the same way the grass and shit need rain. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, pain is really, you know what I'm saying? As awkward as it sounds, it's food to your soul. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you have to go through, you know what I'm saying, certain things in order to grow through certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's a saying that goes, every rose that ever grew had to go through a little bit of dirt.
That's for sure. That's how you find your purpose in life anyway. You got to go through change. That should build character. And should always say my struggle is my strength. Because I always been built off that struggle. When I go through something, it just, it build me.
Okay. So now, I want to ask you this. You remember when we was a few episodes back, y'all can probably go check it out, you know what I'm saying? We was talking about the Laquan McDonald shit, right? Yeah. For those of y'all that don't remember, Laquan McDonald was the, I think it was like the 16, 17-year-old boy that got killed back here in 2014 in Chicago by Chicago police officer Jason Van Dyke. First of all, they covered it up, hid it for like a year or two. Then they brought him to justice and charged him. Ultimately, what became of the situation, he was found guilty of second-degree murder, which in Illinois carries a 6 to 30 year sentence. Yeah. And the fucked up part of it all for me is this part, bro. We all glued to the TV. Like the OJ trial when it was going on.
First, you're going to have to backtrack for me. What? So he got shot, 16 times, right?
Laquan McDonald was shot 16 fucking times, bro. The man unloaded his motherfucking clip on that man, put another one in that bitch and was ready to do it again. Right. Say he feared for his life. Laquan had something silver in his hand, and Laquan was maybe 50 feet away. You know what I'm saying? The video is in public domain. You all can go check it out for yourself, man. But Officer Van Dyke unloaded his whole motherfucking clip on Laquan. Yeah. And it showed that from the trajectories, a couple shots dropped him. The rest of the shots came after he was still on the ground, already immobilized. I wore a hoodie a while ago.
Yeah, that's how I knew it. That's exactly how I found out about it when I saw that 16-shot hoodie.
Those of y'all that know me, before this became, a big thing, when it first happened, you know what I'm saying, I wore a hoodie, man, that said 16 shots on it. And it was red gunshots, you know what I'm saying, on every part of the hoodie, part of the body, that the police officer had hit Laquan McDonald. And for me, it was a silent protest, but a big visual. You know what I'm saying? And the only way I would speak about it is when people ask me about the hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people get the wrong perception of it and think it was, it's like some street shit. Yeah. No, completely the opposite. If you're in tune to what the fuck, you know what I'm saying, was my thing at the time. You know what I'm saying? It's my silent protest. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like you just saying, we don't know our power. You know what I'm saying? We don't, you know what I'm saying, know our voice. At the time, I was heavy into music and doing these shows and things. So when I would do these performances, you don't have, certain artists have a gimmick that you know them by, like Slick Rick with the chains and the eye patching, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. Or now Andre 3000 with the shoulder pads and the furry pants. Well, my gimmick was the 16 shots hoodie. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people were asking me about that shit, man. And it was a silent protest about this very incident, man. And the protest was during the cover-up time because they covered it up for 2 years because they act like it was a justified, you know what I'm saying, in the line of duty type of, you know what I'm saying, murder type of shit. Anybody with eyes that saw the video could see, bro, you murdered this man. So I threw the hoodie on, you know what I'm saying, had the hoodie made.
I didn't even know what the fuck it was.
Man, that's what it was.
I had to go.
That's what it was.
I had to go look it up and see, and that was years ago.
That was in 2014. and they covered it up for a year or two, and then they charged him, and then he went to trial. But all this time going by. Now, this is.
So he's been locked up for 2 years.
Let me get to that though, because when they charged the man, and again, this is touching on you saying us not knowing our power and settling. When they charged the man, we were hooray. You know what I'm saying? Oh, victory. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a step in the right direction. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't be the oppressor. Don't, you know what I'm saying? You know.
This just now. How many years they give him?
They gave him 6 years and 3/4 months. So like 6 years and 8 months.
And they charged him with a second degree.
Not first degree murder.
Second degree.
Second degree murder.
And they gave him 6 the minimum.
But Facebook, I had people literally arguing me down on Facebook, bro. I always say you never know the law till you read your rights. You know what I'm saying? I had people, I call them Facebook lawyers, you know what I'm saying? Because when they charged this man, they charged him, he was found guilty on all 16 counts. They charged him for each, you know what I'm saying, bullet. Those are the counts or whatever. Yeah. So you had people that was looking at just face value of the stature, like each count carried 6 to 30. They go, he got to do a minimum of 90 plus years and no, he was charged with 16 counts and he got to do 90 years and I'm telling these people, no, it don't go like that. No, he not. This is a fail. It's a go ahead.
They know a lot of people don't know that. So most people look at it and ain't satisfied. But if he did get 90 years, that still ain't satisfying to me.
That
shit don't satisfy. I mean, yeah,
I had to tell them,
though,
it's a thing called one crime, one time. And you know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Those 16 counts happen inside the commission of one crime.
Mm-hmm.
He's not being charged separately for every fucking shot. So all those counts go into one crime that happened one time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a 90 years. He is going to be the original 6 to 30. They gave the man 6 years. Now, I say all that to say this. Jason Van Dyke is to be released in February of 2022.
He done his time,
huh? He done his motherfucking time.
And he did what? 2.5 years?
2.5 years. Fuck it, we'll give him 3. Really,
and see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They played the system for what it was. All right, we're gonna lock him up, but we're gonna utilize our leverage.
My question is, that's clear. You got to know, bro. Somebody had to fall on that sword. They know how powerful we are. Somebody will have to fall on that sword and take that motherfucking hit to keep the uprise from happening. Tell you what, you're gonna take this hit. You're gonna fall. Be cool, calm down. Let me listen. You're gonna take this hit. You're gonna be charged with XYZ. You're gonna listen. You only gonna be in that XYZ amount of time. You're gonna be in XYZ amount of care in there. We're gonna give you XYZ to your family while you in there, and XYZ when you get out. You know what I'm saying to you? But you're gonna fall on this sword. You're gonna take this hit one way or the other. And it's either take this hit and get nothing from it, or take this hit and get something from it. You know what I'm saying? He took that motherfucking hit. They recognize the power. But my question is, do we still feel like justice was served? Do we still feel so vindicated for him killing the Kwame McDonald? The man went to jail for 2.5 years.
Justice never can be served.
That's
why I said even if he got the 60 or 90 years,
did it work in our favor?
Fake worked in our favor. He was prosecuted for it. He was found guilty for it. That wouldn't be satisfying to me.
I mean, of course not. The loss of life has no value, but shit, I would rather 3, 6. You feel
Definitely.
me? We need to know our power. We need to when they didn't charge the man with first degree murder in the door, we lost already.
Yeah.
That was nothing short of first degree murder. We lost right there.
Yeah.
We settled humbly. We settled for the second degree.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know that power, bro. How do we? It's hard, bro. Because you taught to be that come from back to from the slavery. Like you taught to be that meek, that humble to your, oppressor. And the slightest bit of crumb or leeway that you get, you feel like it's movement forward when it really ain't. It's a hey, look over here. Why do this over here?
Yeah.
In my opinion, rather. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I see it. And it's
you gotta build your own leverage, man, and utilize that shit. That system is not our system. You gotta find your system and work that shit. That's their system. That's why it's working for them.
Absolutely.
It's their system. It's working for them.
Simply
That's
put,
why we can't beat their system. It's theirs. You gotta build your own system.
That's real. You say you ain't gonna beat them with their shit.
No. That's why you gotta respectfully, respect everybody when they hit their move. When they pull that card, so.
Okay.
Us as a people, we gotta.
As a people, you mean our race of people?
Definitely. Our race of people.
I mean, as the people as in the human race or our race, you know what I'm saying?
Our race.
People, okay, yeah. All right.
The black, the race that we've been fighting forever, you know what I'm saying?
I
agree.
We
shouldn't be fighting this hard now. We should be smart with this shit.
I agree.
That's
So
why we was
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Because I was gonna speak a little bit about that, like that trauma shit, and just like we was talking about with the communities and shit like that, how they built their communities and shit. Our shit is built. We gotta definitely stay in tune with ourselves and shit, and be familiar with what the fuck we got going on, because they not familiar with it.
What you mean by that?
Remember we was talking about like the trauma piece and shit. A lot of this shit in our communities is stem behind trauma and shit, like what we've been through for years, like you say with the slavery and shit like that. Trauma is a motherfucker. If you don't identify and know what it is, you can be misdiagnosed. Like a lot of black kids, they diagnose them with ADHD and shit like that. But they've been traumatized, like just everyday life, going through the neighborhoods. And
what's that attention deficit hyperactive disorder?
Yeah. Yeah,
like
exactly.
Can't sit still and shit. Just can't pay attention. Focus is short.
Yeah, but we've been through a lot of shit though. They misdiagnosed us a lot with that ADHD shit, man. But just working in the field with trauma, I just noticed how trauma affected me in my life. And then I just noticed how everybody around me, that shit just affected. Everybody's affected by trauma. That's those little tweaks that you see in people and shit. Sometimes household trauma, sometimes it's outside trauma that went on. You just saw somebody got killed, shit like that. But you carry this shit with you until you learn how to self-care and take care of yourself with this trauma and shit.
Self-love.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of self-love, but self-care, man, you got to be aware of what you got going on within yourself and shit.
So what do you mean by self-care? What is self-care for
just
those
basically
that don't understand?
Just being in tune with yourself. If it's just spending some time with yourself, just knowing what worked for you, taking that time out and putting a little care in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Stepping away from everything and stepping into yourself. A lot of people not in tune with themselves.
Me time.
Definitely. Because you grinding so hard, life take a lot out of you. And then you got trauma and shit. You don't even know you got trauma and shit.
You don't know until you till that shit spill the fuck out.
Yeah.
And now you got to talk to somebody about it.
But it's different levels to trauma and shit, though. I'm traumatized with some acute stress and shit like that. Somebody else, they on a whole nother. They didn't have multiple encounters with trauma, and they just, you know what I'm saying, they act out totally different than you. All of us is kind of affected by that shit, though, man.
Because you'd be surprised at how many people don't really understand how important self-care is, to the point that they don't understand the smallest things that they can do that'll present self-care to themselves. So what are some of the things that a person can do that'll exhibit care for themselves on a daily basis till it becomes a habit?
Shit, it could be just not answering the phone, but just, like, nah, I'll do it in a minute. I'll talk to them in a minute. I'm going to get a little piece for myself. Not being on social media, taking that, that ride by yourself, that walk by yourself.
But in the day and time where everything is so social media driven, you got to combat that.
Because like cleansing yourself, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You say what within the time of what?
Like in these times, like everything is social media driven. You mean like people whole lives have sunken into
social
that
media.
virtual world, yeah, to the point where like they might not be able to like to them
function without this shit.
You understand me?
That's when you gotta have that discipline for that self-care, man. I done heard a million people say that shit. Like, my homie just said that shit. Like, man, I'm finna step away from this social media shit. And I be thinking like this shit is needed. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, you running the business though.
You gotta unplug from the matrix.
They tell you gotta run your business through this shit, all this shit. So.
Well, that's why you get you an assistant, somebody that operates social media for you. You just solely step away from it. You know what I'm saying? Have somebody else run all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess it's needed for marketing. You know what I'm saying? So you have somebody else do that type of shit, and you yourself just, you know what I'm saying, disconnect from the matrix for a little bit.
But that can be a part of self-care right there, though. But it's a lot of different things you can do to self-care just to keep yourself balanced throughout this grind of life that you're going through, because you'll get caught up in it and you'll forget about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, but with the trauma, it's just connected to everything. As a kid, you saw a little badass kid, you know what I'm saying? He was always fighting and shit like that. That might have been from some trauma he done been through at the crib. Yeah. And he acting out. That's one of the forms of, you know, the PTSD shit, where he acting out. And ain't nobody even, you know, he ain't got nobody to kind of help him with what he's going through.
He just getting his ass for cutting up, and nobody digging deep.
Exactly, and it's just creating a bigger problem. That's why black people always was against therapy and shit like that, when that's actually what we fucking need, you know, therapy and shit like that. There's a lot of issues in the homes and shit like that that people have been traumatized over, and they walking around with that shit. That shit create, you know, grown ass men and women that be having these issues, and they don't ever know how to unleash it and talk about it.
With you being in this field and this line of work, how do you personally deal with how do I say this? It has to be spiritually tiring to consume that much energy from a, you know what I'm saying?
Trauma. Person went through trauma.
Yeah, daily.
Yeah.
How do you separate
you
that?
live through the trauma vicariously. You right there with it. Secondhand trauma is just as worse as firsthand.
So how do you separate that going back home? How do you leave your work?
You gotta leave it. You gotta detach from it.
Is it that easy though? Like,
no, they still teaching. I'm still learning that right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But they always practice that self-care piece. You know what I'm saying? Because that trauma, you know, you carry that shit with you, like I'm saying.
Yeah.
That secondhand trauma is just as hard as the firsthand trauma.
Yeah.
You witness it, they in the moment of it, but you outside seeing this shit, so it's a lot to it though. Because you imagine walking around with this trauma, you don't even know you got it, doing you acting the way you acting though.
Right.
So that's why it's so cold at the hospital. We actually got a program where people who going through violent crimes, the victims of violent crime that they went through some traumatic experiences, they got a team of people from their own community to advocate for them.
And make sure they getting the proper treatment.
And make sure they getting the proper treatment, that people understand that no, they not no different. Even if they is a victim of a crime, they still
a person.
You know what I'm saying, need to be, but they need to be understood too. You know what I'm saying? So
do you find a lot of families not receptive of your help, or do you find more families receptive?
So it's more. I mean, it's more. A lot of them become receptive. At first, some of them, you know, in a moment, you dealing with some trauma. Your loved one just got shot up, you know what I'm saying, unconscious and shit like that, and I'm coming to you, telling you that I'm here. That you can't really understand that shit. I'm trying to tell you that I'm here to support you and, you know, offer you whatever services I got for you, just to walk you through this uncomfortable moment, to make you as comfortable as possible, and to advocate for you, and to give you whatever resources and accesses I got that I can help you. You know what I'm saying? And they give you this. You can actually get victims of violent crime, you know, compensations and shit like that.
Is it like a stipend or some shit like that?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Housing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Things that you don't know, they're not gonna give you unless you ask, because you know about it.
Yeah, therapy and shit like that. They want you to go back out. So it's like working inside out. You can't get to the people on the outside. When you get them inside, you try to set them up. You really don't force nothing on nobody.
Okay.
You let them dictate what they want. You just, once they tell you what you want, you just use your resources to get what you get. But in the midst of them just being traumatized and then they family going through it, you try to make them as comfortable as possible, though. By relating from being from the community and understanding that trauma is a motherfucker.
Now, let me ask you this.
Some of these doctors, man, they don't, they don't relate to it. They treat this shit like
it's a job. It's a job. They
so being compassionate. So being compassionate about that, you lose your loved one, and they tell you can't go in there, you can't touch them, you can't do nothing to them, all this shit. Like you gotta have compassion for that shit, man.
I think compassion is in their Hippocratic oath or some shit too. They lacking it more and more. It's becoming so broad, man, that I think it's become a defense mechanism for them not to have any feeling about it, so they can separate their job from, their personal life and disconnect from it.
Some of them they mentality as fathers when they seeing these people coming in here from these violent crimes through these communities, that shit. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. Another one, you know what I'm saying?
So no compassion for them for even being a person, just...
I'm not gonna speak for, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, I think they become, known to that shit where what they've been taught to, though. And this is what they do.
Wow. All right, check it out. While we on the subject of hospitals. To be vaccinated or not to be vaccinated? That is the question. What's your standpoint?
I was against it at first.
At first? You not no more?
No, I'm vaccinated. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, look. Why were you against it at first? Let me ask that.
Same thing what I'm just talking about. Mentally, like, nah, I ain't finna let them injecting me with no shit. This shit all about money anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then it just got to the point where I was just like,
Were you forced, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean by forced, by like your livelihood, you know what I'm saying, caused for you to be vaccinated to where you had to make a decision, or did your standpoint change based on...
It was before that. Before that. I was going to get vaccinated before that, before I had to do that. As far as the livelihood go, I was going to get vaccinated. I already made it up in my mind I was going to get vaccinated, though.
So what do you feel about the people that's against vaccination?
I don't have any feelings about it.
I mean, like...
If they're against it, they're against it.
What are your feelings about the vaccination, then?
What people saying they're injecting the chips and all this type of shit.
Just like whatever, like what's your...
people... I think it is what it is, man. I ain't really got no feelings on no super CIS type. I told you I was against it at first, and I grew to be with it.
Some people say it's a live sale and that shit in the Morona joint type of shit, man.
I done heard shit, like I said, all these conspiracies and shit, man, but I just ain't got no conspiracies to connect with it, man. I ain't.
Right.
I ain't got no energy for that shit. Like, it's been 2 years we done been through this shit, so.
Kyrie Irving rejected the vaccination.
And he ain't going. And that's his right. That's what he want to do.
And he can't hoop.
Man, he don't want to hoop. Then he got bread. I guess he's saying fuck it.
Yeah.
I can't say nothing about that man not wanting to take that.
Let me ask you. What do you think they know that we don't know?
Kyrie?
Yeah, those that are privileged to a little bit more information than we are. What do you think they know that we don't know?
I don't even think that
they'll put a few tens of millions of dollars away.
It's his mindset. Kyrie been on that type of shit, though. He been had his own little views and opinions about shit, and he wasn't going.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think if he was losing money or not, he still would be that same. I'm not taking that shit.
Well, me personally, Slang, Go ahead.
I ain't that big on the vaccination. It might be something else I might be hell bent on like that. Like, hell no, I ain't doing it. But the vaccination was like, it changed for me on that shit.
I mean, So do you think it's fair for them to put your livelihood in jeopardy with you making a decision about your body?
I told this they system. Didn't I tell you I play life how it fucking go?
Right.
But I also, when it's my turn to do what the fuck I need to do when I make the home for myself, I do what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
But sometimes you gotta go with the, the floor shit.
You gotta go with, you gotta ride the wave.
Everything ain't a gorilla fight, no.
Okay.
You got to know how to conform to shit, and then when it's time to go, you gotta go. So Kyrie, this his moment where he like, I'm this it, I'm not going. Type shit. It's just a system. What the fuck? I can't fight. I ain't going to. Nah, fuck that. I ain't going to work. I ain't taking that vaccination shit.
But that's crazy because it's
Next thing you know, they like you got to scan your ID. If you got vaccinated to open the fucking grocery store though.
How can you say that not you but the system? This toss me one off. We gonna out the matrix. How can you say that women have the right to choose over their body when it comes to particular issues? You know, you get a choice over your body, but when it comes to this particular standpoint, you don't have a choice over your body. It's either this way or no way. And what I mean by that, like when they had the abortion thing going on, and they said women.
I mean, because they saying, go ahead.
No, that's
because that's their leverage. If you want to work at our shit, you got to take this vaccination. That's your body. You got leverage. Like I'm killing this motherfucker. I'm not killing him.
I don't think that shit should be
be like that. So you not with the vaccination. You not with vaccinate. The vaccine.
Nah.
You will not take the vaccine?
As it stands now, no.
Yeah.
No.
You know anybody who ever had the COVID?
Yeah, I did.
You had it?
Yeah.
I think I had it before too.
Yeah. I didn't think. I know. Feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not totally against vaccines or vaccinations. That's why I was careful to say as it stands now. Meaning, you know what I'm saying, the current versions of what's out here right now, no, I don't want to take it. I'm not against the vaccination. I'm against these vaccinations. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the guinea pig, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you. When I know the manufacturer's sole purpose is financial gain. They just pumping these motherfuckers out and using the data from when we come into the hospital, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. From our reactions from this, they using that data to improve the drug, the vaccination as it go along. So I'm not against vaccination or the vaccination, but these current vaccinations that's out right now, these versions, like I don't think they.
So you ain't gonna fuck with the first here. You gonna wait till the second batch?
Nah. Yeah, that if that's how I got to go, then sure. You know what I'm saying? But this was out here right now. Now the thing with the live cell being in the body and shit like that. I mean, like if people get the flu shot every year, then like what do you think? You know what
I didn't used to get the flu shot. Yeah, I ain't had it in years. I just got it this year.
You don't want it either.
I got it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't get sick and shit,
man. That flu, how you seeing the angels down there?
Yeah.
Like Jesus.
Yeah, I ain't get sick though, but like I said, man, the system, man. What you gonna do to build up your system? How you gonna get that leverage?
But like shit, do you know? I'm not even looking for leverage in this type of situation. I just want y'all to do better, shit. Before
you commit, huh?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying, like shit, just do better. Like I should have that option. Shit.
Okay.
I should have that option. Like like I don't want to be part of the case study.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like I'm sure that is. See, my thought process on this whole shit anyway is like this shit it wasn't no the pandemic. This shit wasn't no by chance ass shit. This wasn't no this
was the whole way.
Man, listen, the only way to sell the problem to a solution that don't exist is to create the problem. This shit wasn't no by coincidence. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. You know what I'm saying? with me getting the COVID shit, I understand that it's real.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's fake. That's what changed my perception. Because at first I was completely, because I was with the cell generation, all that type of shit. So I was completely against it. But then experiencing that shit, I'm like, okay, they might be on some shit, some biological warfare type of shit. But at the end of the day, like shit, I don't want these current versions. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how I'm gonna react to them. It's people that's catching COVID again after they done been vaccinated twice. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck are we doing? Yeah. You know what I mean? You could be pumping saline into my body for all the fuck I know. I don't know what the fuck is in that valve.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's just, I'm gonna just shit this round out.
Mm-hmm.
But after having that shit, my precautions are serious. I'm a germaphobe. You hear me? I'm at the gig, masked up. Don't touch me. None of that shit. You cough, my ass getting big at you. That type of shit. Because I know it's real now. Right. And that shit is a motherfucker. You feel me? So I'm gonna take those precautions. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know I'm not gonna go jump in this round, I'm gonna be more cautious.
But COVID over with now, so we can kind of. I think that's the end of the whole COVID movement. Still got to stay safe though, but I think that's the end of that. What you think about the Bulls, man? The new Bulls.
I think they own something. Fuck the Bears, go Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly. Levine, Ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. DeRozan. Yeah, I think they own something.
Vucevic, the little rookie, got hurt, but they got a little young bench that's hungry. You know, I like the Bulls. The Sky One. Bulls look home. I like the Bulls. I like they grind now. They grinding.
I'm finna say this is the first time I've actually watched every Bulls game.
Yeah.
From the start of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been watching every motherfucking game. Like okay,
I gotta go to a game.
Yeah.
It's a must.
That's something else that the pandemic did. Like you find a whole new appreciation now.
Yeah.
For going out and experiencing, you know what I'm saying, things like that when it's all taken away from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, I had the opportunity to go experience the Donda shit too.
Yeah, you went to that?
I went to that.
Oh,
shout out my boy Dion. You know what I'm saying? Shout out John Monopoly. Shout out John 3D. You know what I'm saying? I had the opportunity to experience that shit and experience it was, man.
Yeah, that Donda show, I know that was dope.
It was dope. But just after, you know what I'm saying, not having that for damn near 2 years.
You appreciate it even more.
Yeah. To go into the stadium and you see the flashes and shit again and the people and man, that shit takes on a whole new feeling. So I said I really recommend you really for real go.
Yeah. Go this. I'm going definitely go to the Bulls game. What you think of that BMF series?
I ain't checked it out yet, man. I'm a type of motherfucker, man. Like my anxiety levels are ridiculous. I can't do the week shit. I done tried to.
You gotta binge and watch every motherfucking
the whole season
you can't,
go by.
You can't wait.
And I'm gonna go ahead and watch the whole season. Exactly. So that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm doing that between this and raising Cannon with the Power series.
I haven't saw one episode of that.
A Power?
Yeah.
Power at all?
No. Wow. You know I'm fucking with that BMF, and I'm behind on the BMF, but I read the book, so.
Yeah, we know.
Ain't nothing like that.
We know the story of Meech and to see that about the life. You know what I'm saying? Like we for that. Sort of like the paid in full shit, which brings me to this. Yeah. They knocked your boy Alpo.
Yeah, I know. I heard y'all talking about that.
Yeah.
When this happened?
This happened yesterday. Alpo Martinez, who was portrayed by Cameron as Rico in the movie Paid in Full, was killed yesterday in Harlem. In a drive-by shooting. And as we know, Alpo is responsible for the death of Rich Porter, Rico, and Money Making Mitch. You know what I'm saying? And you hear a lot of songs about Richard Porter, especially from Meek Mills and things of that nature, man. But he was killed yesterday in Harlem. But how do we feel about that, though, dude? You know, like, you don't want nobody to die, but how do we feel about that, though? Knowing the story, like, and knowing what type of rat he was and what he did, like, do you have sympathy for that, or do you know what I'm saying? You rest in peace, Rich Porter.
You have sympathy, but you, like I told you, only gotta understand, like, the streets got a system too, and he knew that.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you can't run from your past, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it'll catch up to you. So you live by it. You gotta honor that shit. Like I said, the streets they never really lose shit. So
and they gave it time too. Like I always say, one of the 40 laws of power is the art of timing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, he got released from jail a couple of years ago,
mm-hmm.
and at the end of Paid in Full, you see Cameron Rico was like, you know what I'm saying? I give y'all a couple niggas out of DC doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna snitch on nobody in Harlem. Cause when I come home, I'm gonna still be the king. So, you know what I'm saying? He come home, you know, we see the video in the penthouse and the, you know what I'm saying, type of, you know what I'm saying, type of shit, whatever. So it's like shit. Justice play out. Street justice is justice.
Street justice, I mean, yeah. Like you say, I told you I play the other side of that too, because the family, all that type of shit, like it's. But
it's a fine line.
Life.
It's a fine line.
Like I said, that system, man. He was in that system, and was part of it. Shit.
All right, flipping the script right quick. Can you talk a girl into coming? Can a guy talk a girl into coming? Can a guy talk a girl into having an orgasm? Is it possible?
You already know. A lot of that shit is mind shit anyway, mental shit, right?
Mm-hmm. I understand that, but
you talking about literally?
I mean, literally, you not touching her.
Mm-hmm. I heard.
Cause you know you can talk to a bitch and the pussy get moist.
Right, definitely,
you know
definitely. I heard motherfuckers say that.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, you made me, you know, but.
Well,
I don't know where you get that shit from.
Check it out. I posed the question on my Facebook. Shout out to everybody that
you definitely can mentally fuck, you know what I'm saying, a motherfucker.
For lack of better words, absolutely. I took the poll.
A lot of people, that's what they really be fucked up off of.
What?
The mental part of it. They be mentally fucked up. They only, you know, anybody can dick a motherfucker down with them. The mental.
Well, I had a lot
stimulation.
Okay, well, the responses I got from the poll were divided in 3 ways, and I'm gonna say it kind of hit equally. And the majority of the responses came from women, and what it came down to, you had a couple saying yes, it's possible if he talking the right shit. You know what I'm saying? And he, you know what I'm saying, it has to be a particular erotic conversation, and you know, he can't make it weird, and you know, that type of shit, and it's absolutely possible. Then you had a few that come behind that said yes, it's possible, but you know what I'm saying, that in connection with me touching myself would bring me to, you know what I'm saying, orgasm. Then you had those that said, no, it's impossible. It can't happen. I absolutely need.
Well, what brought this up though? Somebody said that they was stimulated.
No,
they was stimulated by a motherfucker conversation and it made them.
It was just a question that was posed. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, matter of fact, it wasn't a question. It was a statement that was made.
Yeah.
That said a man can talk a woman into coming. So I posed it as a question to the women. Is this true?
Yeah.
Can a man talk a woman into coming?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would figure you all would know firsthand. Let's talk about it. And they chimed the fuck in. So like I'm saying, some of them said, no, it's impossible. I had one person say, the saying goes, it's the motion in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? The saying ain't, it's the sound of the waves. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women were saying it's impossible for a man to just talk her into an orgasm without any physical, you know what I'm saying, touch. And then it was more that said, yeah, it's possible though. You know what I'm saying? I even had one woman say that she's never been stimulated that intensely ever in her life. And I was like, wow. So, with that being said, you feel me? What you say? Is it possible?
I'm gonna say yeah. Yeah, it's possible.
I agree.
If you willing to let a motherfucker take you there, it's possible. If they willing to let a motherfucker take them there, yeah.
She has to absolutely be receptive to the conversation.
Yeah, they gotta be
man.
They gotta be willing to do that shit, yeah.
All right. Well, it's been a real long time. We've all gone through cycles in our life, man. And I need you to give us some keys to life, man.
Some keys or a key or whatever it is, huh?
I mean, if that one key turned into two keys, I'm saying don't cut it off. Give us.
I'm saying one of them is stay doing your self-care shit. That's most important of them all. Like I said, setting yourself up. That setup in life is everything. Your setup. Once you learn your setup, life is pretty much a breeze because you work in a system. You know what I'm saying? So your self-care is everything because you got to stay in tune with yourself and know what you need, the placement and all that shit in your life. But my word is cycles and shit. So you go through cycles in life. But I always say you got to embrace them though, but you got to kind of be always comfortable with being uncomfortable in life. Because them uncomfortable moments is what get you to your next cycle in life. They push you through and create that person who grows and becomes, you know what I'm saying, more mature with life and shit and make better decisions in life. So get more comfortable with being uncomfortable. I was just telling somebody like that, this the uncomfortablest I've ever been in my life, just the position I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And I embrace being uncomfortable, but it's a different uncomfortableness, you know. And I'm in it, but it's like shit.
I ain't never been
shit, this is uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So if you learn how to get comfortable with the uncomfortableness, life will, you know what I'm saying? Them cycles, that's when you break up through them cycles in life, man. So yeah, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because a lot of people are comfortable with doing shit. You know, they don't see no growth in their life. Then they wondering why, you know, their buddies next to them shooting off and shit like that. No self-care. You know what I'm saying? No accountability as far as self. And then everything around you is just, you know, your placement and the people around you and shit is not fit for you. Your system is off. You fucked up. I said that about the clothes. Like, my system is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You can have a flow and still not make no money and shit like that. You got to have a system in play. And you need to have a system in play with your life. And you got to do that self-care. And you got to realize you can go through some cycles in life. You got to be willing to embrace that shit and be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Church. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Definitely.
Growth comes in uncomfort.
Yeah. Character, all that shit.
Because you got to find a way to be comfortable. Out of nature.
But being uncomfortable is going to get you to the comfortability stage. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was saying, that breakthrough. When you finna break through, that's the hardest motherfucking, you know. That's when motherfuckers either gonna break or they gonna
right there at that moment. Yeah. Well, if it's one more this way, it's over with. You got to go this way. Yeah. Man, that's tough. Yeah. So, as always, it has been a pleasure, man.
Man.
You hear me?
Gotta get back. How long has it been?
It's been at least, goddamn it, three months.
Right. I got to get back comfortable with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
been at least 3 months. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Don't trip though, because we got some good shit. You know what I'm saying? In store for y'all.
We got some shit coming up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
We was just getting the gas going too. We got to get them gas back.
Well, you know, we got to just become comfortable with the uncomfort of getting back to, you know what I'm saying, in the groove of this shit then, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because one thing I did find out, and I appreciate y'all so much, man, you know what I'm saying, is that motherfuckers definitely missed us.
Yeah.
Motherfucker definitely missed us, and I appreciate everybody that keep asking, you know what I'm saying, when the next episode, you know what I'm saying? We gonna J down, y'all fuck with us, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had to come in here and rap with y'all the taste, man, but we gonna catch y'all on episode 15 of the podcast Heat Check. We out of here.
My niggas 24 with the cocoa. Make a fiend to the seat like go-go. Came in with stick, no pogo. Go Nick, make everybody get low. One shot to the head, that low. All my hitters gon' hit on scope go. Just like this money, we don't fold. We live and die by the Chico. Vegas bitch with the side. And a quarter brick of that guy. Keep post, she don't speak, she